Hi everyone, Mature Simmer here. So, got my next load here. Going ahead and taking this to Glasgow, which is about 160 some miles away, I think, if I recall. Alright, so you can see where we're headed up. I'm kind of splitting the difference here. Miles City's too close. Didn't get options for either of the two, but I'm hoping if I go here in the center, I'll get one or the other, and then I'll have my 12. So here's to hoping, right? So gotta get, again, clear of the bay. Just continue to haul these crazy articulated trailers that are a whole lot of fun to maneuver. Whoa. I swung wide, but I swung a bit too wide. The GPS suggested I go a different way and go and get on the highway, but that doesn't make a lot of sense because this is the road I'm going to end up on. While it may be a bit of a challenge maybe to maneuver with this load, maybe that's why it wasn't doing that. But at this point, this should work because we would have just been getting off on the exit ramp there. But this gets us through the back end. More importantly, it gives us something to look at. So I'm hopeful that I can just get everything done, both with the rest time I have and the gas I have. And then I'll be all set. So I've got 540 miles to empty. I need 164 here. Obviously, unless I have to drive all over Tarnation, I'll be good here. The time might be the only thing, but gas-wise I should be fine, because I can't imagine either of those is over 200 miles away. Looks like we're getting some storm clouds moving in. That can be a scary thing out here. Just kind of realized I was probably a little too low as far as where I was looking. So reset the camera there. Gets us a little cleaner view out the windshield. But at this point, you know, we should be okay. This is 3 hours, so it's going to be after lunch before we get there by quite a bit, honestly, unless we move along really, really fast. So one thing I've noticed, there's a lot of trains in Montana. Everywhere we go, I think almost every episode I've been on, there has been a train I've passed, or was crossing, or whatever, or I heard. But some of it is we've been dropping off in a lot of train yards too, so. But yeah, we can see our fuel distance actually, so we have 71 gallons left, which is about a quarter of a tank. So we'll see how it all goes. So this is Lindsay. Very small town, I'm guessing, because I think we've just gone through it. And then we're going to Circle. They have really interesting names. Grass Range, Circle. I guess they keep it simple. Heinz barbecue sauce. That's a pretty fancy billboard. So the other thing that I did forget to mention last time, because at the end I had exceeded over $1 million again. So I have gone ahead and expanded my company, and I'm officially over 100 drivers. I have 101 right now. Oh,
Go straight on.
let me slow myself down here. I don't want any tickets. But no street lights, so small town, but we just kind of get to cruise on through, because as you can see, not a whole lot of traffic happening here at 11 a.m. on a Sunday. Everybody might still be finishing up church. Is that the church? They might all be there. I only see a couple cars, though. Actually, one. So, don't know. But I'm glad I'm through, and I'll continue from there. So, a little bit of a power substation. Generating the power. I'm not sure what we've got just a facility, a yard of some sort there with some wagons. So yeah, I don't need rest areas now, but hey, now they're going to give them to us. That one night, I really wanted them. They couldn't, but today, here they are.
Get ready to turn right.
Ah, okay. Because I was going to say, I am having a hard time speeding up, and obviously this isn't going to help.
Turn right.
So I can swing wide here. Hopefully there's nobody coming. They are, but at this point they can see me. There we go. Oh, it is a police car. It's like, it looks like it could be a police car, but I didn't see any lights, but then they popped on. So just took a little while for it to draw. Probably because I wasn't headed straight in that direction. But yeah, as you might imagine, with 100+ drivers, it's almost a steady flow of money. It's pretty nice, because if you think about, like, if people are like us, you know, if they take short jobs, they're going to get them done in 3 or 4 hours. Even if they take slightly longer jobs, they're going to get them done in 1 or 2 days. So with 100 people over 7 days, I mean, even if they take a couple days, you know, that means, say, 50 a week are getting done. You're still going to have 7 drivers that complete something every day, at least. So, not bad. And of course, you know, some of them are going to take shorter loads that aren't going to take 2 days, so 2 days is a long time. I mean, that's probably a 1,000-mile load. Because I think you can go 500 to 600 miles a day, so. Alright, so definitely a lot flatter, but it's not a desert like Arizona and New Mexico. So it's kind of got that feel, but there's more grass on the ground, which I think would be accurate. Being further north, it's just not as hot. Although with the climate change and so forth, it seems to be changing a bit. It may be just as hot pretty soon on a regular basis, but we'll see. Oops, I need to turn on my lights. Somehow they got turned off. Alright, we're down to 64 miles, but yeah, not a lot going on here, that's for sure. So compared to the really beautiful mountains on the west side, this side of the state, pretty basic. Could be anywhere. Well, not anywhere, but it could be a lot of places. How about that? Oh, we're going to have to slow down. Ah, we've got some kind of a viewpoint out here. We're certainly not going to pass that up. So, and it's even on our side, so. Ah, another river or a dam or something. Let's see, what does it say? Fort Peck Dam and Lake, I think. So there we go, the Fort Peck Spillway. So, there you go. I'm sure it's generating a good amount of power. That water's flowing through there. Oh, that's interesting. It's like a water slide for the water. It looks like it keeps going down. So instead of building a gigantic dam, what they did is they created a hydroelectric section where I think they can get some power out of it. I'm guessing, obviously, this has something to do with that as well. And then, but then it's almost like a chute that the water goes down that looks like it's farther down. Interesting. Faraday energy. Faraday cage is responsible for shielding electromagnetic waves. So that's a nod to that, I'm sure. But yeah, it like starts there. And then I think it's just enough because it's going down. And then it just, instead of creating a high dam, it's able to be smaller, but then still slope down. Interesting. So, definitely something to take a peek at. Let him by. Alright. So we are back on our way. We still got a ways to go. Alright, so there's that big building that we saw that was a ways away. So I don't know if there's some town here. We're 51 miles away from where we need to be, so I'm guessing it's certainly not Glasgow, but Glasgow, or who knows what they call it. As I've talked in other ATS things, sometimes states pronounce them very, very differently. Okay, so this is Fort Peck, looks like. So there you go. I guess this is a fort of some sort for probably an army base, maybe. But yeah, there's a county down in Georgia, spelled like Houston, but it's Houston. So to get upset if you say Houston, and similar, it might not be Glasgow, it might be Glasgow or Glasgow. It could be anything, I don't know, or I may not even be close. So there we go. Hansa, I think, was one of my new ones, so just $964, but it's better than coming back empty, but that is probably their first job. Now, the one thing, I had unlocked that other recruitment center. The first driver I was able to hire, he was a 5.8 already. So I had to, he earns more money, but I'm like, wow. Alright, hold on, what are you doing to me? I don't like that, but alright. Working on the road they are, or pretending to be working on the road. It looks like all of them are standing around, but there's not even anybody on the other end. Switch the light. Hit this heavy load, and I get stuck here. I'm guessing this might be one of those things SCS sometimes does, and this may be permanently here. This may not be a random occurrence. And these always take forever. I always begin to wonder if they're broken and then they're ever going to change. And then they do. So I'm waiting for a little bit longer at least, because I'm pretty sure this is valid. There we go. So as you can see, it is. It just miserably takes a long time. Not even sure there's anyone. No, there are some behind us. So I'm like, yeah, those guys, they're just sitting around arguing about the color of the pavement or something. I don't know. But either way, they're not going to get the road work done doing that. It's 2 o'clock, it's not lunch hour, unless they're on some weird schedule. But even if it is, I doubt they'd be standing in the middle of their workspace. So 21 miles. We are not going to Cascadian Farm. We're going to ADM again, which is where we picked up from. So we're just transferring between facilities. The Milk River. So just crossing my fingers that I'm either going to get a Sydney or a Havre. I think it's what it is, or maybe it's Harve. I don't remember if the R or the V is first. But I'm hoping whatever I get is 100 miles away, so there you go. We got 12 out of 15 cities discovered. But
go straight on.
We probably are only going to get 13 right now. And I'll have to get the others a different way, which is fine. Alright, so I'm entering whatever the name of the town is. Not seeing ADM. Also not getting credit for entering it, which is a little crazy, but we're going to have to turn right, so it kind of gives us no choice but to get to it. So my guess is it'll be discoverable once we turn and get to the intersection. Ooh, BNSF. And I don't know if that's an original BNSF locomotive up there, the steam one. Now contrasting it to the diesel one, or what? Please don't be here, thank you. This train tracks aren't even marked. That's kind of dangerous. It's a lot. It's 4 of them. That's not a safe crossing at all.
Go straight on and then turn left.
Okay. Amazon Prime.
Turn left.
Is this thing seriously not going to discover the town? Although wait, it must have. Because it gave me the 12 of whatever, so it must have. What am I talking about? Yeah, it did. Never mind. I'm just losing my mind. I'm a little daft today. Sorry. It's telling me 1 minute and 11 miles away. Obviously, something's off, because that ain't gonna happen. Must be a decent community, decent income. They got a Whole Foods. Alright, question is, I'm thinking that turn where we're going to have to go right is probably a light as well. So we may get stuck again. Which would be a bit disappointing, but nothing we can do about it. Oh, no, I guess it's just a turn. Well, there's our delivery spot. I'm going to move over a bit because I think I'm going to have to swing kind of wide. And I think I need to be to the left, so I'm just going to take that opportunity to move over, and we'll go from there. Another thing of planes on the right here. Just a lot of monuments with planes in Montana. I think whoever created those for SCS is like, this took me a long time. Let's put them everywhere. All right, Havre. It's 128 miles from here. And we're 7 miles from our drop location, so either way, should be over 100 miles if I can get a job there. Sydney might be too close. So, don't know how that's going to be. Oh boy, this is a really tight... Are they crazy? They want me to bring this thing in here? Oh my god. I don't know who thinks of these. I mean, I guess they need a tractor here, but my goodness. Alright, so I see where I'm headed, right along the building. I was going to say shed, but it's more than a shed, so there we go. Alright, so 11 of 12. I'll see you hopefully for 12 of 12. Alright, so I've got one. There's actually one to Sydney as well. It's 130 miles. But it's not at ADM here, so this will just be easier because it's right where I'm already at. I'd have to go back to Cascadian Farms to pick up the other one. Heading out, turn left. So we're just continuing the way we went, or had been going. And we will be done. Our achievement will be over, as will this mini-series. So I hope you've enjoyed the trip around Montana. We've obviously not seen everything the state has to offer, but in seeing 12 out of 15 cities, well, actually more than that, because we did go to Laurel, which we didn't specifically deliver to, and actually I guess we did, but we didn't, get credit for the event and so forth, so I think we've got Sydney, and Sydney might be it. That might be the only city we haven't seen. I don't know. I guess we didn't go into Miles. I think it was Miles Creek. So we didn't get credit for that. We drove kind of through it on the interstate. So, another rest area here. Kind of nice, interesting. Just what you'd expect in kind of a rural space. Just the necessities of building and everything else. But yeah, if you're looking for more Montana, you'll probably then see it in my longer running series, the Coast to Coast series, so I'd encourage you to check that out if you haven't yet. Now that Montana's available, all the episodes after that aren't already done, obviously, will have the opportunity to include that. Right now, I think I'm up in the west corner, if I remember. I'm up in Washington State or Oregon. So, we'll have to see how that all works. I'm going to have to get myself back there again because of what happens with map updates, but I'll probably incur that cost to do that, because otherwise I'll be starting out in Tulsa again, and I'm not sure that I want to do that. So, there's police everywhere. Alright, so we're already less than 100 miles to go. So, look at those little dinosaurs. I don't know if you saw them. Alright, Havre, it's H-A-V. It's like Brett Favre, but Havre. But although I think he is F-A-V-R-E, even though he says Favre, so maybe they're Harv. Who knows? I hate when the cars do that, because they get so close, and then sometimes they kind of stop, and then they keep going. And then you hit them, and then you lose money because of that. But yeah, if you want to continue enjoying this location periodically, I can't promise anything, because I don't know where that'll take me in the Coast to Coast series, but got that going on. And if you want to see trucking other places, I've got a Euro Truck series too. It's running with Real Economy, which is a lot more challenging to relocate trucks there, but don't have to worry about that because they postponed the Russia DLC because of world events, and they've announced West Balkans, but my guess is it's going to take a little while before that shows up, so I think we'll be good for a bit. But yeah, I've enjoyed this, as always. Not that I was expecting some sort of a DLC that I'd be like, this is trash, I can't stand it. I really enjoy the game. I enjoy what we're doing here in the world. So, definitely appreciate everything that is happening here from SCS, and I look forward to, I'm assuming in the next month, we'll hear an announcement of what's next. We've kind of got the grumblers and the things that have been whining about Texas, kind of forgetting that Texas is like the size of 3 states. So, we have had Wyoming release, we have had Montana now release, be announced and release, and so, like, people are just thinking, like, well, you shouldn't release anything before you release Texas. I'd rather they take their time and do it right, and I don't really care where I drive. I mean, Texas is cool, but everywhere else has roads too, so at the end of the day, if I'm a real trucker, I'm taking cargo places and I'm getting paid. I'm not really worried about where it is. So, I mean, if people want to hold out, they want to don't spend their money, but I'm sure there's plenty of us that whatever sequence SCS chooses to put these things out, we'll just keep snapping them up, keep expanding our official map, and keep going from there. Because, yeah, we get those plain states taken care of. Then I think with Midwest expansion, like, we'll have a pretty good active country for, as it continues to expand. So, because there's a good amount of Texas in there too, but obviously that has been announced and is coming, so that one just changed to a Starbucks coffee a moment ago. So, still got 34 miles, says 2 minutes real time, but that never seems to work. But as you can see, we've got 14 miles. Shelby's a little further. Thinking maybe we weren't in Shelby either. I don't remember. Let's take a quick peek. Huh. I don't know where Shelby is. Guess it's not a city that's there. But yeah, the other thing to certainly look at, and I'm thinking this must be Glacier, because Kalispell is definitely up there. I know when we went, we visited that town at some point. So I think we were on the west side, so that may be the way we came into the park. So, but you can't haul freight through the parks. You can, but you get penalties and so forth, which in this profile I've done before and don't mind because I have plenty of money, but it's super, super challenging. But I'm sure one of these days I'll do a bit of a sightseeing journey. Maybe. You know what? I'm going to do a bonus episode in this mini-series. I'll get this done. And then I'm going to go ahead and transfer my truck over to Kalispell, which I think I can do. I don't know that I need to own the garage. If I can do that, I'll go ahead and do this. But because I want to see this place, and I'm sure you guys want to see this place. So it'll be my thank you to you guys for sticking with me through what I think now will be 7 episodes of this mini-series if I do it. So don't ever say that sticking with something never got you something, because people won't know. Well, they'll know because they'll see it on YouTube, but you know what I mean. Like I had not been talking about this earlier, so it's a yummy restaurant. I wonder if it's really yummy. Usually places like that, they're just like, if you gotta say it, it's usually not true. So it's like, you know, people that, like, there's people around that say they use the best words, but they don't. So, you know, figure it out. So I'm not sure that the yummy restaurant is really going to be that yummy. Canada. I'm assuming that's really Canada. Although we're going north and Canada isn't to the west if we're really going north, so I don't know. But that road could obviously turn, but we can't go down it and find out, so we'll never know. So, still 16 miles. So, we'll have to see, but this has definitely taken me off the beaten path. And it's going a little bit of a interesting way. I really don't want to be behind him, but I'm trying to be a nice driver and follow the rules of the road. Guess it's only 9 more miles. I am running out of fuel. That's okay. I'll figure it out. I've got 200 miles of fuel left. I think I'll be alright. But yeah, this is Namik. And there's more police. And ADM. There we go.
Turn right.
That was tricky. That came up on me faster than I thought. Straight ahead. There we go. I would say I'm going to drive through this grass. There's probably going to be something in here like a tire or something that I'm going to hit, and then it's going to yell at me. No, amazingly not. Nice greenhouses, pretty old harvester, and a good, nice John Deere. I think the other one might be a case, or not sure. Alright, well thanks for tagging along. And again, there may be a bonus episode coming, so keep an eye out. This is the most exciting thing, 12 of 12. I've got my Cruising Montana series done. So I'll have my bonuses if I choose to use them. But I will see you next time.